Why hello there, and welcome to another Shake the Box First Look. I am Chris, and we're taking a look at Moss Destruction. Now, Moss Destruction has been in early access for quite some time now, but it is leaving early access very soon. How soon, you ask? I believe March 3rd is the answer there. So this will be a properly released game very soon. Moss Destruction has been described as a bit of a twin-stick shooter roguelike? Is that right? Am I describing this right? Let me make sure I'm describing this right. Yeah, it's a twin-stick shooter, tough as nails roguelike, described as having a well-balanced ranking up system and sweet handcrafted visuals. Which you can see, it's all nicely hand-drawn stuff. These illustrations are pretty nice. This reminds me a lot of some of the aliens from Squee, one of the Jonan Vasquez comics that most of you probably don't know? But whatever. Point is, I like the art style. It's pretty nice. Now, how does this control? Right now, I'm using a keyboard and mouse, and that's what it has. But you can use a controller. Honestly, for twin stick, I like using two sticks for a twin stick shooter. So let's use a controller for this. Play, please. Alright, select a hero. Mosses, a devoted young Mossarian hero with the willingness to act on his people's behalf. Mosses operates the fairly balanced all-rounder, the chicken, a simple yet reliable build. No bonuses, no trade-offs. Sorry, my lunch is here to say hi. What else we got? We have to unlock in the secret shop. We just have moss right now. We have no cartridges. I don't know what that means, because I haven't played this game at all yet. 0 Mech-Tech available, rank 1, play. Music's pretty good, although this loop might be a bit short. Okay, good. That was just the menu loop. The minimap can help you find your way around. Your current mech rank is displayed here. Gain rank by killing enemies. You can advance a maximum of 2 ranks in each level. You can carry 2 weapons at all times. These are your ammo types. Make sure you keep track of them. Hint, it's always wise to keep weapons consuming different ammo types. Alright. Pew pew. Oh, alright. Is that a pickup? It is. You found a strange alien tech shard. These can have several positive or negative effects, only revealed upon first use in a run. The color-associated effects will be randomized in each run. Alright. So that's kind of like Pills and Isaac. Alright, Wormify will turn each enemy into a worm for a brief time, thus making them an easy kill. Does not work on henchmen and bosses. Alright, we can see their worms now. It's kind of similar to Nuclear Throne here, just instead of sprites, we got polygons. I am kind of curious about that. Like, the game's pitched as having a home-drawn art style, and yet it went with polygons. An odd choice. You found the exit portal. Walk into it to leave now, or take your time to gain rank and find the weapon crate of the level. So each level apparently has a crate with a weapon in it. The portal is displayed now on your minimap. Well, obviously, I would like to find the weapon crate. Call me crazy, but that's what I'm here for. I like the effect of the level being drawn as you see it. It's kind of a... What's this? Is it the weapon crate? It's just energy. It's kind of similar to like a fog of war effect. Alright, I see some enemies are still worms. This is where we started. Where's the weapon crate? Beware, the sun is setting. That means enemy reinforcements are inbound. You can linger in hope of better loot and to rank up, or you can find the exit portal to escape the level. Pew. Alright, well that's a much better weapon. Like, just straight up. Well, here we go. This might be where the weapon crate is. You have found the portal to the secret shop. Enter to spend Chrysol on goodies. With your shopping done, you can come back here through the portal, but the portal will then disappear on this level. Assault rifle. Alright, let's pick this up. Pick this up. Honestly, I like this one better. Enter shop. Alright, apparently one of the things I picked up slowed me down. This is a Mech-Tech card. Once bought, these will be shuffled into the available deck to install next time you gain a rank. This is a passive cartridge. I like that they're shaped like different old-style video games. This passive cartridge, once bought, you can equip a limited number of these at the beginning of each run. They will modify gameplay only on runs when equipped. And then, this is a global cartridge. Once bought, these will permanently modify the gameplay according to their function. So these are like 2 NES cartridges. And this is not really a cartridge now that I look at it. How much Chrysol? I have 1 Chrysol. Can I steal? Alright, this is Moss Guyver, global. Grants an additional active slot for every hero. Backup plan, passive, starts every level with a backup disc in 1 inventory slot. And Chloroplast suit, Mech-Tech, slowly regenerates HP over time. Note, only 1 armor can be obtained in the same run. So unfortunately, can't afford any of these. And there was just a guy waiting for me at the door. Seems unfair. Whoa, whoa. I'll thank you all to please calm the hell down. Alright, we need the big guns. Big guns. Geez, nighttime. They weren't joking. Nighttime, the game gets rather scary. You're way better than that. You have reached level 1. Revenge! Alright, now we know when it comes down to nighttime, things get real. Now, the game is pitched as a twin-stick shooter, but I get a distinct impression that this might work better with a keyboard and mouse. Just because of how this reticle is chilling out here. Alright, I see the worms weren't because of my worm pill last time, it's just that there are weapons. There are enemies that are just worms in puddles. I gotta say, I'm not a huge fan of the polygonal style artwork going on here. Alright, we got this. Also a shotgun. Shotgun, way better. Enter shop. This is an active cartridge. And this is a Mech-Tech upgrade card. I already knew some of these things. Nuke belt. Again, we don't have any meta money. So these are things we can't play with regardless. What else do we have going on here? I do want to find this weapon crate I was sold. Sold the idea of. Didn't even notice you. Ooh, that did a lot of damage, actually. Walking on the green puddles. Bad for your health. Yeah. I gotta say, I'm a little bit disappointed that the game mentioned, like, oh, sweet hand-drawn visuals. And then we got a bunch of these little polygons running around. I mean, I'm not like a pixel snob or anything. I'm not going to begrudge them using polygons. Polygons are a lot easier to incorporate into this kind of game. But I'm a little bit disappointed. Like, hand-drawn visuals in a game are unique and usually very fun to look at. But it does require a very competent artist, and they have to pump out a lot of artwork. So I do not blame them. Alright. If they're still taking notes as they're developing this game and bringing it out of early access. I will say, one thing you might want to consider is having the minimap display more than just the exit. Like, I found a weapon and I left it on the level. It would be nice if that stayed on the minimap. Ooh. Still haven't found a weapon crate. But we did find a weapon, so this time let's leave. Like this artwork. Ah, it's good artwork on that splash screen. Rank 2, 2 Mech-Tech available. Supply drop. Low on stocks, you can always select supply drop to restore your health and replenish some ammo. Decreases... that is some pulsing, pounding music. Decreases incoming ranged attack damage by 1, but cannot decrease it below 1. Note, only 1 armor can be obtained in the same run. Biofusion Wrench. Every 7th ranged kill transfuses 1 HP to you up to the current maximum. Twilight Night. Grants 15% boost of speed and fire rate after sunset. So we get stronger and faster when it's nighttime, and as you can see, we look like Batman. I'm gonna go with the Biofusion, that way we heal ourselves. There's also a fast clip chip. Oh. Boost rate of fire by 33%, also halves ammo consumption of the minigun. And boots. Over-ooze trampling system. Grants faster movement and lets you walk over hazardous puddles. Gonna go boots. And then I'm going to wonder if the game froze. Okay. It did not. I like the 1 track, but I do want more than the 1 track. Ow. The spyglass makes fog dissolve in a wider range around you. Enemies nearby also get marked on the minimap. Alright, so maybe there's minimap upgrades we could look for. The energy module is a rare power-up that will slowly replenish energy ammo cells over time, last throughout the run. So we have picked up a pretty good one. And now Wormify's gone off. I'm trying to determine what is what. Geez, something is in the fog. And it did a lot of damage to us. We need to kill a few more things. Because on the 7th, we'll heal. Hey, my boots! What about my boots? It said I could walk on puddles. Everyone saw me equip boots. Everyone saw me read out loud what the boots do. And everyone watched me die because I decided to walk in a puddle to try out my new boots. Comment below if I was stupid, and that's not what the boots do, but I'm pretty sure that's exactly what it was described as doing. So that's a little bit disappointing. Good God, I liked this song when we first started playing this game. I do not like it anymore. Oh, thank God it's a new song. Is that an elite? Why was he so fast? Alright, good. Some meta money. So as of right now, we have 1 rank up available for when we leave, I believe. That's number 1 in the upper left. I'm getting the impression my starting gun might only have so much ammo. Alright, rank 2. So now we should have 2 level ups. And that was the weapon crate. I see now. Alright, got an assault rifle. Pick up some items here. Alright. Oh, fucking puddles. They do so much damage. So right now I have 2 items down in my lower right hand corner. They represent left bumper, right bumper. My problem is I can't highlight one without using it. Alright, we still only have 4 meta monies. I could see some enemies on the minimap, so that's a nice change, being able to see enemies on the minimap. No, that's not enemies. What are those red things? There we go. I managed to use one and also highlight it. We got a damage buff. I guess the icons are hand-drawn icons, but that's not quite the same. Oh god, what happened? Let's just get out of here. My character got stuck on geometry, I guess? Hi, screen. What happens now? What is going on, game? Oh, the song's back. No. Personal escort trooper will follow you around and attack enemies coming within close proximity. Shield disruptor keeps common enemies from deploying shields. Improved targeting system considerably reduces shot spread. I'm not gonna go with a little friend. And don't I get a second one because I was on rank 2? The answer is no. Alright, sound mixing. A little bit odd. No, not the same song. We'll just take them out from far away. It's a shop, and of course we still cannot afford anything, so let's leave. I'll switch guns. Also, we're going to start using some of these. So we have another jammer. And we have an unknown. I didn't mean to use the jammer twice. Die. Weird little thing. Do. I hate the song. I hate it. Wait, am I out of ammo? I wasn't out of ammo? Whatever, we have a really good gun now. That's my friend. I'm trying to shoot my pet. Get him, dog! Ah. You know, the hitbox for those puddles. Unclear sometimes. Come on, don't freeze on this screen with this goddamn music playing. What are you doing, game? It appears to have frozen, with the music still playing. Oh! Is it unfrozen? What is happening? Revenge is highlighted. Can't select revenge. Oh, thank God. Alright, a little buggy, this game, I gotta say. Every once in a while, it seems like it forgets my controller's supposed to control things, and it wants to use the keyboard and mouse. Let's try the keyboard and mouse. Maybe that's less bugged. Settings, controls, keyboard, mouse. It's already switched to keyboard and mouse. Maybe it was just accidentally switching on its own. That song. It sometimes gets unnecessarily loud. Got them both. Alright, 1 and 2 is for the pickups now. I guess he's an elite. A flame or a lava cannon. And of course that'll hurt me. Why wouldn't it? Alright, what do you drop? Your health? That's good. Don't. Oh, this gun. I like the very slow. Is that supposed to be like arcing through the air? Is that the animation they're going for? Oh, camera move can sometimes mess with the aiming. I did not step in that lava, come on. Alright, well I had to see if I could chase my own lava ball down. Play. It's a serviceable game. Like, it's kind of a crowded genre when you get right down to it, so you can't help but compare it to other games. So, as I mentioned before, one comparison point is Nuclear Throne, and that's a tough one to have to compete with. Nuclear Throne actually does have beautiful sprite work, the artwork is amazing, the gameplay is tight and refined, and that's of course because, you know, the people that made it are super impressive developers, and Devolver Digital makes very good choices when it comes to what to publish. So that's a high bar. And then speaking of Devolver Digital, another game in this particular format is Enter the Gungeon, and like, you can't hold a candle to Enter the Gungeon. Enter the Gungeon is so good. Blitzcut chip passive. Melee rate is 2 times faster. I don't have melee? Oh my god. The tutorial didn't really mention that I have buzzsaws that pop out of me. Well, that changes things. But yes, we have to compare it to its peers because that's just how this works. You can't make a video game without drawing comparisons to other video games that have similar premises and gameplay styles. And those are 2 very high bars right there. Ooh, the cloaking field generator halves enemy sight for 45 seconds when activated. Ninja mode on. Enemies fired at will still notice the player. So that's a non-mystery pickup. I haven't found the weapon crate, or did I? Because you kind of break them and they just pop out a weapon. I do like the melee. Levels are also rather small. But this is still the beginning. I imagine plenty of room for these to get bigger. Another very minor criticism slash like here's a thing to consider changing. When I start, I have the number 1 in the upper left hand corner, which means I'm rank 1, and then we go up to rank 2, and I imagine that's just a persistent thing, like it'll go up to like 4, 5, 6. But I definitely thought at first that what it was saying is that's how many upgrade points I'm going to have when I leave. So right now I should only have 1 upgrade point, not 2. In an oncoming would-be lethal hit, this generates a few seconds of invulnerability, leaving you at 1 HP, has a cooldown of 90 seconds. Shotgun weapons get a slight damage buff. Go at last stand. So yes, in the genre of the tough as nails twin-stick shooter roguelike, you are in company with titans when it comes to this particular roguelike genre. And this does not measure up to either Nuclear Throne or to Enter the Gungeon. Doesn't mean it's a bad game, it just means that it's tough if you've played those games to play this one and not think to yourself, it's not nuclear throne or Enter the Gungeon. And that's not entirely fair, I realize, but it's just an unfortunate fact of life, and boy, my own splash damage did quite a bit of damage to us. Oh boy. But I think my biggest complaint is going to be, if you're going to advertise your game as having a lovingly hand-drawn aesthetic, then you should actually have a lovingly hand-drawn aesthetic, because this is a polygonal game. The hand-drawn aesthetic is just for the UI elements, and let's be serious, that's not what people are going to think when you say, hey, I got myself a hand-drawn game. That's just some of the assets. The meat and potatoes of this game is these little sprite boys, these little polygon boys. I wanted sprite boys. I wanted lovingly hand-drawn stuff. That's why I was like, oh, sweet. Gotta check out this game. So I do feel a little lied to. I don't know if that was something I misinterpreted and they really just meant like, hey, our UI elements are hand-drawn, or if I'm justified in my disappointment there. Alright, I need to leave. It is getting nighttime here, and nighttime is a scary time. Boy, there sure are a lot of enemies when you get to nighttime. Oh boy. Let's just wormify everybody. And there were pools of acid everywhere. Wormify has quite the downside. Does it not? Alright. I'm curious what the later game enemies will look like. I'm not a huge fan of their walk cycles, these little purple boys. Their legs move at a pace that does not match how far their bodies go in that time. These guys, though, they work. Their walk cycle makes sense. Same thing with those guys. All the spheroid enemies are moving at a pace that matches their legs. But the purple spindly guys, not so much. All right, we want to rank up both times before we leave, I think. And we can get 2 upgrades like we did the first time. And I'm guessing what's going on here is it's per kill is our experience. Like, we're not picking up anything. Like, it's not... Yeah, that doesn't work. It just looks strange. We're not picking up any progress things, so it is just when we kill stuff it goes up. God damn it, they just spawn on top of each other, and I can't see them because of the fog of war. Oh, never mind. That's a bad weapon. We've killed ourselves with that countless times. And it's already nighttime, so we're probably going to be obliterated by wave after wave of enemy. Oh lord. Yeah, nighttime's just the screen is filled with stuff. So you want to keep going to try and get things, but when you're first starting off, you don't have any upgrades, you don't have very impressive weaponry, and a lot of weapons seem to hurt you. Lava Ball being a primary example, but also Bazooka. Like, the range the explosion has its blast radius does a lot of damage to you. I'm also not a fan of how much damage different attacks do. I'm a fan of how Enter the Gungeon and Nuclear Throne do it, where you have 8 hit points. That means if you're hit by something, it does a point of damage, so you know you can get hit so many times, right? Like, Enter the Gungeon, your number of hearts. Each heart, if you take a normal bullet, you're gonna receive 1/2 a heart's damage. If it's a jammed bullet, you take a full heart's damage. But it's like everything's doing 2 or 3 points of damage, and at that point, like, why do it that way? It's so much cleaner and easier for the player to understand what's happening if they know a hit's going to be a hit point, right? But then again, we have been talking about a lot. I feel kind of bad about it. You can't help but be compared to these games that are in the same genre as you. Alright, well, a slow is not ideal. Let's just leave. Let's just leave this place. So maybe this is like a very active decision. Like, let's stand out a little bit by doing it this way. Improved targeting system. Roto node, an orb that circles around you and bends the trajectory of incoming bullets. Off-track bullets can damage enemies. Alright, let's go with that one. But really, like, something like that, which exists not as a way to differentiate your game from other games, it exists as a way to let players instantly understand a situation. Like, it's readability. It's just clear and crisp and clean, and players don't need to think. It's just an instinctual thing. That's the benefit of, if I get hit, I know exactly how much damage I'm going to take. This system of taking multiple points of damage for a hit, that doesn't work as cleanly. Where you want to stand out is like, geez, orb, I'm like waiting for you to curve bullets, and it's not really happening. There we go, now you did it. Oh, we're just straight up out of bullets. Energy. There we go, there we go. You see? My bazooka did like 7 points of damage to me, and it has a huge blast radius. Some of these aren't tough as nails decisions, they're just not fun decisions. Like, if you want a run and gun twin stick shooter, you don't want this many weapons that harm the player. It just really slows down the experience, in my opinion. Anyway, that is Mass Destruction. Obviously, it's not a very full look at the game, it's merely a first look at the game. I really like the art style of this splash screen. I'm not a huge fan of their polygonal work. Like, it just kind of reads as stark. Like, it's not a very vibrant world we find ourselves in here. But that said, it is a playable game. Like, it's serviceable, and for some people, they're going to like this game more than they're going to like the other comparison points I brought up. And for you, then, you know, this is the game for you, Mass Destruction. I do feel like it has some work that's left to be done. Chief among them being the things I talked about here. And also the music. Like, there's only a few songs, and I like them at first, but I do not like them as they keep going. But that's just me. I don't mean to be a negative Nancy. Making a game is hard. Like, it's hard to make a game. I've tried and I've made one before. It's hard. It's hard to make a game. So, if you're watching this and you're a developer, I'm not putting you down. I'm just trying to be a critical observer of the game. What you've done is impressive and you should be proud of your work. But I do feel there is room for improvement here. I do think that there is a game inside this game waiting to burst out, to spread its butterfly wings and become an amazing game. you know what? We're gonna start one more time so we could really, like, talk about how this game could become a great game. We'll do it point by point as they come up here. Alright. So step one is what we got going on here. It's a very brown palette. It's a dark brown with a light brown and darker brown to differentiate between. We have some poop browns, and then a purple enemy with green blood. Like, that's a nice splash of color. But I feel like this is supposed to be an alien world. We could definitely make this more vibrant, more colorful, more interesting. And it doesn't help that it's like a white fog of war that fades into brown. It's just a non-interesting color fading into even less interesting colors. So increasing the color palette would definitely make this more vibrant, more interesting. And you can make the character really pop in that situation. You know, make this a vibrant world, and then make this polygonal guy have like a nice glow to him maybe, so he pops out and you never have to worry about losing your guy, which isn't really a concern to begin with because he's in the center of the screen at all times. Player instinctually knows where that is. Next up is damage. As I've mentioned before, have each thing that hurts the player just do 1 point of damage. If that is unbalancing your game, reduce the amount of hit points. But having it do an arbitrary amount of damage, or 2 or 3 points of damage... Yeah, I'm pressing E. Yeah, hold on, worm. There we go. Also, only have the pickup thing pop up when the player can actually pick it up. Like, what just happened there? That'll kill a player when the game's really kicking it up. When it gets hot and heavy and there's a lot of action going on, you don't want something like that slowing the player down. That's going to feel unfair. So we just took 3 points of damage from 1 bullet. So that's how much a single bullet does. We saw the knockback from my bazooka was enough to kill me when I had 7 hit points. Or I might have had 6. Point being, my own friendly fire was able to obliterate me. That only did 1 point of damage when we got shot right there. So that inconsistency is going to make it hard for the player to understand what's going on, especially when there's multiple types of enemies on the screen. We don't want that. We want a nice, tight, readable, crunchy game. You want something that feels responsive and makes sense to the player at all times. That way, it's not thinking, it's reacting. A game like this is about reaction. It's about flying through on instinct and having to think on the fly. Not like having to calculate like, oh god, does that thing do 3 points of damage to me? Does that do 4? Is that a single hit? Can I tank this 1 hit? Like, again, we're going to bring up comparison points, and that's just how it's going to have to be because that's how video games are. They're genres for a reason. Enter the gungeon, right? When I walk into a room and I know there's something I need on the other side of the room, I make a decision. At that point, I think to myself, alright, it's worth taking a hit to get that. So I'm willing to tank a hit of damage. This inconsistent damage from enemies makes it so I can't do that right now. I cannot think to myself like, alright, I'm willing to tank it, because I know I'm only going to take a heart of damage at most. That could mean death. So that removes that from the equation. I can't do that. It makes it so I can't feel confident in what I'm doing. That's the benefit of having a consistent damage output. Controls-wise, it's fine, you know? It's a twin-stick shooter. I do think it works better as a mouse and keyboard experience, because some of these weapons do benefit from, like, plopping that reticle right on them. 3 points of damage for that 1 hit. And I realize health drops are much more plentiful in this game, so maybe that's the offset, but again, it's not about balance, it's about playability. It's about knowing what I can do without having to stop and try and remember things. It's about letting the player enter that flow state, because that's where these kind of games shine. The creep on the ground, that's fine. You know, a lot of games do that. But because I'm a polygon, and that's a 2D surface, and we're having isometric view, I have a lot of trouble distinguishing when I'm in that puddle. Like, right now I'm clearly not standing on this little mound, but I've done that with the poison puddles, and it's murdered me because of that. So, not a huge fan of that, because it's unclear what my hitbox is. So maybe a more defined hitbox should be on this list of potential critiques here. I'm a fan of the Binding of Isaac style, like, mystery pickups. That's fun. Alright, well, we got lead boots. That sucks. Let's never press the number 2, I guess. That's fun. I like the risk-reward system, and then you know what it is for the rest of the run. It works in Isaac, it works here as well. More music tracks might be nice, or at the very least, having it integrate better. Like, it really just sounds like I have a music track from, like, a CD playing, and it's unrelated to the game. Well, that's a tough one. Like, I don't have any constructive criticism there. I could never do sound mixing for a game. I don't know how to make music sound like a natural fit. I just know when it works in a game and when it doesn't work in a game. Let's go with shell tech plates. Even though this is really just a last pass talking about what works and what doesn't work in this game. So yeah, like, Fog of War, it's a unique addition here. It's a good idea, because, again, you don't want to stand out in the wrong ways from other games, you want to stand out in the right ways. And this is like an actual gameplay mechanic that could do that for you. However, it is a bit problematic in that sometimes we can be shot at from stuff we can't see, and that's always frustrating for a player, right? No one likes that. No one likes being shot by things they don't know where they are. So that's a tough one. Like, I don't know if this is something you want to keep, but maybe refine it a little bit. Maybe have a Fog of War where if there's an enemy in the Fog of War we can't see, the Fog of War glows a little bit red. So, like, for instance, that guy just walked out of there. This Fog of War should have been a little bit red, indicating that there's a threat there. We don't get to see what the threat is, we don't get to see what the threat's doing, but we would know, watch out for bullets coming from that direction. And I think those are, like, most of my major points that I feel like making here. Yeah. Let's just complete this run. I'm okay with having upgrades that impact the minimap. Like, right now we can't see when there are enemies on the level, but we have gotten an upgrade in the past that let us do that. So we do know there is a way to see that. That bullet did 2 points of damage. I hate the inconsistent damage output from enemies. I really think that is the most grievous negative point to this game so far. It is definitely the inconsistent damage output from enemies. Rate of fire goes up. Every third melee kill adds 5 to one of your ammo counters. That could be interesting. Yeah, I feel like if those changes... Oh, I'm a new music track! I feel like if those changes were to happen, this game would definitely go, these are key cards you have found. Use them to open gates of the same color. Alright, there are doors that we get to open. That was a nice enemy right there. I got an achievement just now called, Where Did That Come From? So the achievements have some of the same criticisms as me. I do like that it will highlight enemies that have meta money, making them a desirable target. That's a real nice touch. Maybe don't advertise your game as having a hand-drawn art style, because again, I do feel like that's a little bit disingenuous. This is a polygonal game. It is definitely not. Okay, that's a weapon I like. I can get behind this weapon. Yeah, we have 13 meta monies. A new character, do it. That's the kind of stuff I want to unlock. This weapon is terrible. We've killed those spiders in one shot of our shotgun before. Blind shot. So we just shot someone in the Fog of War with our laser, I guess. Yes, we did. Here's their health drop. See, you see, if that fog of war was red, I would have been aware that there was danger there. I just got lucky that I was going to start walking in that direction. Oh, it doesn't go through shields, in which case that makes this a little bit less of a bad gun. Yeah, implement the changes that I was talking about, and I think this game shoots up into a much better game. Shield disruptor. Sure. And we'll just keep the run going until we're dead, I suppose. I'm curious if there's going to be any boss encounters. Blind shot. So we definitely killed someone else off screen. Alright, 2 points of damage. Oh, hey guys in the fog. Stoneburner. The Stoneburner will instantly kill all enemies in your sight except for henchmen and bosses. So there will be bosses. Guess the real question is, are they going to be like clearly defined bosses? Like we enter an exit portal and then we arrive in a boss fight, or they're going to spawn in the level and they're called bosses? Oh. Alright, we opened that door using our key card. So it wasn't necessary for the exit. Wormify. Which has gotten us killed several times in the past. Ah. Keep going, laser. Ah. Alright, let's see our new character. I think it's the transitions for music that are a little bit startling for me. We unlocked Don Grand Moss. The Don means serious business, not a moss of tactics, but his bulky biomech, heavy and tough, can surely take a beating. Starts with 10 HP and a stronger melee attack, but it's slower. Alright, I just wanna see what this is like real quick. Alright. Gotta say, not much of a difference. Like it's the same animation for the melee attack. It's basically just a scaled up version of what we already had. Alright. That was Moss Destruction. Leaving early access March 3rd. There are things I like about it. There are things I think it could do better. And we'll see how this game looks and feels once it leaves early access. It's very possible this will all come together, you know? But we shall see. I've been Chris here at Shake the Box. If you enjoy our first looks, be sure to subscribe and come on back because we do a lot of them and we really enjoy doing them. If you're a developer, feel free to send us keys. You'll get our honest thoughts and opinions. And you'll always get... Like, I try and focus on constructive criticism. I don't want to just pop into a game and be like, this game sucks. If it's a truly awful game, which is hard to do, like, it needs to feel like something you didn't even try. Like, it just needs to feel like it's just like just a sellout, awful, like, cash grab. But most games don't feel like that. Most games feel like passion projects. Like Moss Destruction, you could feel that they're trying to make a game and that they care about it, and that's what's most important. That's what makes a game worthwhile, in my opinion, and that element is here in Moss Destruction. These people care about what they're working on. The art style for the things they drew are beautiful and amazing, and I love them. I just wish that that art style carried over into the game itself, more than just the UI. Because, like, I think this is beautiful. This is beautiful. All of this is beautiful. I wish that was more representative of what the game looks like. Because the polygons, the polygonal models, they're not vibrant. They don't pop for me. So that's my only art disappointment. Anyway, yes, be sure to like and subscribe. Come on back for more, and check out all of our other fun stuff here at Shake the Box. I've been Chris, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.